Yeah, now let's talk about the SUMIFS function. Okay, so the SUMIFS function um, is like an upgraded version of SUMIF. Okay, so under SUMIF, you have one if you say equals SUMIF. Okay, you have range criteria. You have one criteria. Okay, like here, if I go to the data set, I said we want to find the sum for, let's say, grapes only. So the grapes, that's the one criteria. For instance, if I want to find the sum for grapes in the southern region, uh, and also in the southern region, and whose person was say, let's say, Ethan. Okay. Or for now, let's do grapes or let's do the sum for grapes in the northern region. Okay. So we have two criteria. You have grapes and the what? And north. Okay. So the sum with s function is an upgraded version of the sum with function. Okay. As the syntax, the formula is the sum range. So this is where the numbers you want to add. Okay. For this example, the sum range is what? Is your f, column f. Okay. And then for the criteria range, so you start with the criteria range 1. Okay. Let's say for grapes. So this is the criteria range 1. And then that's the first condition. The first condition. So in this criteria range 1, so this is the range. You find your criteria or your condition. Okay. And then it goes to criteria range 2. Okay. So criteria range 2 is this second column where you find your what? Your north. And then the criteria 2. It will be what? North. Okay. So let me show you how this is done. So let's go to the data set. This is the sum if results. These are the sum if results. So let's go to sum if s. Sum if s. Okay. So for the sum if s, what do we want? Okay. Before anything, let's convert this data set into what? Into a table. Okay. Or before I convert that into a table, uh, I can do, okay, yeah, let me convert this into a table, Control T, and let me see where I get Shift. Okay. All right. My table have headers. Then let me clear that. So this is our table, right? Okay. Suppose um I want to find the total sales for bananas uh in the southern region, or let's say in the northern region. Okay. So I want to find the total sales for this uh using these conditions. Okay. I want to find the total sales, okay, for bananas sold in the northern region. Okay, so what do? You use the what? The sum if s function. Okay, alternatively, you can also use the what? You can use your pivot table or pivot by functions, right? So here we're saying sum if s. Okay, so what's your sum range? Okay, this is my sum range. I'll select. Okay, so it is easier to select the range when you convert it into what? A table. Always remember to convert your data into a table. Comma. What is criteria range 1? So Uh, what's our first condition? Our first condition is what? Bananas. So where do we find bananas? We find bananas in this column what? Column A. So that's our what? Criteria range 1. Okay, comma. What's criteria 1? What is our condition? What is our first condition? It is what? Bananas. Comma. So you find that these are others. The range criteria and criteria range. These are in these brackets. It shows that they're optional. Okay. If let's say you just wanted the totals for bananas, you stop there. Okay. Like here, if I remove this comma and just what enter. You find that I have the total for bananas and it's the same result I found under what? Sum if. But here we're talking about the sum if s function. Okay. So we're at criteria number what? Number 1. We have selected bananas, comma. Okay. So now we need criteria range 2. So for us to find the criteria range 2, we need to ask ourselves, what is our condition? What is the second condition? The second condition is what? North. Where do we find north? We find north in this column B under what? Under region. So you select that column, comma. What is criteria 2? Again, criteria 2 is our condition number 2. So what is our condition number 2? It is what? It is north. That's all you need. And enter. So our total sales for bananas, which were in the our total sales for bananas in the northern region is what? Is 10,000. Okay. 10,000. Okay, that's let me just copy that for us to easily check. Control copy. And then let me just control shift V. Okay, 10,939.71. So let's check if this is indeed correct. Okay. So one, you go to the fruit column, you select what? You filter, you unfilter, or you just type bananas. Okay, like that. And then the other condition was what? North. You unfilter and select what? North. Okay, so let's find our totals for this column. You just since this is a table and I've already okay, let me just highlight this column, shift page down or shift control page down to go to the end. You find that the total is this one, 10,939.71, which is the same as this one we found using the SUMIFS function. So let me clear the filter. Clear the filter. See, that's the beauty about the SUMIFS function, right? So here we had two conditions. Suppose we have three conditions. Okay. Suppose we want to find total sales. Okay. Um, total sales for let's say mangoes in the southern region sold by Fiona. How do we do it? Okay, simple. You just say equals. So here we have how many conditions? We have three conditions. Here we had two, one, two. But here we have three, one, two, three. Okay, so how do we do it? We just say equals sum if s tab. What's the sum range? The sum range is where you want your results. So it will be this one, comma. What is your criteria range 1? The criteria range 1 is what? The first condition is mango. So where do we find mangoes? Mangoes are found in this one, in this column, comma. What is your criteria? The criteria is what? Is your condition. So you select mango, comma. What is your criteria range 2? Criteria range 2, you go to your condition. What is your second condition? It is south. Where do we find south? South is in this one, in this column, comma. So what is your criteria 2? Criteria 2 is your condition number 2, which is south. Okay, comma. Criteria range 3. Criteria range 3, again, the question to be asked is, what is our third condition? Our third condition is Fiona. Where do we find Fiona? Fiona is found in column C. So you select column C, comma, and then you go to what? You select criteria 3. Criteria 3 is our condition 3, which is what? Fiona. And you just do what? Enter. Just like that. So here, how do we interpret this data? We say mangoes which were sold by Fiona in the southern region totaled 1,961.59. So this is how we summarize, we analyze data, right? So how do we check if this is indeed true? Okay, so let me copy that. Let me copy that total and go to the top there. I'll just do Control Shift V. Okay, to check if indeed, if I filter this data, I'll get the total of 1,961.59. Okay, so let's go here. Let's get mangoes. Search mangoes. Okay, then next is where is Fiona salesperson? We have Fiona. Then region we had South, I think. South? Yes, we had South. Yes. Okay. So you find that the total here is 1961.59, which is the same as this one. Okay. If even if you do this, you do shift, page down to the end, and then you look down here, you find that the total is what? 1,961.59. So this is how SUMIFS function will simplify your work, will help you in data in data analysis, right? So alternatively, here we use the SUMIF. We can substitute this for if you want the average. Okay, let's say you want the average. So what do? Here instead of the SUMIF, you just type average if. Okay, tab and just what? Enter. So you find that it's the same for this. Just similar to the SUMIF function, only that here we're having averages. So what is the average sales for pineapple? You find that is what? 267. Bananas. So those are the average what? Average sales. Okay. The same if you want to count. Okay, you can just come here and type count if. Okay. So how many pineapples are there? Just do what? Enter too many arguments for this function. What is happening? Okay, we just do Control V, Control that. Okay, just a minute. Okay, yeah, I think that's it for another day. For the count, we can do that for another day, and also for the sum if s, can do the average if S. So we can just do what? Average, average if S. Select that. You find that it also gives you what? The average. Okay. And also here, if you come to the sum if S, if you can just do the what? The type average and select what? Average if S. Enter. So that's the average sales for mangoes. So in the southern region, by what? By Fiona. So this is how you can easily analyze your data using the sum if and sum if s function. The sum if function is used when you have what? You have one criteria. And then the sum if s is used when you have made multiple criteria. That is from two criteria to whatever number of conditions you have. Right. So thank you for your time. Bye bye.